Hey guys, Drifter here. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm having a lot of fun with the Battlefield 3 beta when I'm able to play it. I was planning to make a video today kind of bashing on the game because yesterday was mostly appraising it. Today I was going to slam the game and all of its glitches and bugs and freezing in the menu and the squad's not working, and I can sum all that up by saying that only about 20 to 25% of the time that I try to play Battlefield 3, I am able to get in a game and play it, and so far I've only had one occasion where I actually got on a squad with my friends. That's the only time it's ever worked. And there's a lot of glitches with this game, but this isn't the big problem. This isn't the problem. The problem with Battlefield 3 is not the glitches. The problem that I'm seeing is that it's starting to cause a small rift in the gaming community. There was a rift that was already there, but this one, it's starting to widen, and you have a lot of reasonable people in the middle, but then on one side you have a group of people that I would like to call Battlefield 3 Hipsters, or Battlefield Hipsters, and on the other side you have COD fanboys. Today I'm only going to be talking about one of those groups. I'm going to be talking about the Battlefield 3 Hipsters. After reading through the comments section on my last video, I felt that it was pretty representative of the community as a whole, a little microcosm if you will. So all of the examples in this video are going to be pulled right out of the comments section of that video. I'm going to be naming names and calling people out here, so this might get a little bit ugly. First up today we have MNFDSNG. Drifter, I have to say this has to be one of the dumbest commentaries I've ever heard. Typical COD player analysis. This game is not closer to Battlefield, and I loved BFBC2 and I love this game too. Smarten up. This is what I would call a Battlefield hipster. You can very clearly see the line drawn in the sand. I'm a Battlefield gamer, you're a COD player, your analysis isn't valid because you play Call of Duty. It's kind of alienating for him because he doesn't want COD players in his Battlefield game, in his glorious little Battlefield community. The reality is that both Battlefield and Call of Duty games are growing closer together. Battlefield's always trying to get a little faster, Call of Duty's always trying to up their scale because they're competing games with an overlapping market, and both companies want to get as many players as possible. Our next one today is from Just Lab. He says, "Please don't compare this to COD. Us BF players don't want them ruining the fun. They can camp and use noob tubes and quickscopes in the Modern Warfare 3 game. In Battlefield, there are unwritten rules that every respectable player follow." Once again, you see there are Call of Duty players and there are Battlefield players. They shouldn't mix. If people that play Call of Duty play Battlefield, it ruins the fun for everyone. He's saying that the people that play Battlefield, they have unwritten rules like we don't use noob tubes and we play the objective and things like this. And as you can see from the beta and people complaining and saying play the objective, this simply isn't true. Next one we have today is, "I love how dumb fucks don't realize it's a beta. You understand what makes BF so great is they find the bugs before they release the game, unlike Call of Duty." That's not entirely true. COD 4 had a very nice, successful beta that they used to iron out bugs, and the whole COD XP thing was to some extent a beta test. The company that you're praising that's so great about finding bugs released a beta that was lesser quality than the alpha, was almost unplayable, and their name is Electronic Arts. They're synonymous with the giant corporation that doesn't give a shit about people, and I don't know if you remember Battlefield Modern Combat for the Xbox, or it was one of the early launch titles on Xbox 360. They had the entire clan server system crash, and it just stayed down. They never fixed it. They had massive server problems. They have problems with all of their games. I think the Origin service is bad. Does anybody here remember Battlefield 2142 or 2143? You literally had to install spyware on your computer to be allowed to play the game. Here's a nice little exchange between Black Cat Ears and Quack Studios. It says, "Lol, why do BF kids have to be such douchebags to anyone who doesn't play BF? It says, "Kids these days don't understand the concept of children should be seen and not heard." Ouch. A lot of little comments like this all the way down the page arguing with each other. Danny Smackaho here has a really long message. I'm not going to read it in its entirety. I'm going to sum it up. He's basically saying that this beta is not representative of the types of maps in Call of Duty. 90% of the maps, just like he said, are going to be huge outdoor maps with towns and cities and rivers and all sorts of stuff going on. EA is kind of doing the douchebag thing here, trying to make the game feel more like Call of Duty with this tiny map to appeal to Call of Duty players. Danny Smackaho is being a hipster because he doesn't want Call of Duty kids or Call of Duty players coming in and ruining his Battlefield again. He just kind of wants to keep these people away. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Stay away from me. And I kind of sympathize for him. I understand that. If you want to talk about the Call of Duty fanboys, the Call of Duty kids, the people that scream and quickscope and call each other faggots and generally ruin the game, that's people that I don't want to play with either, and I understand where he's coming from. But the overall goal is you don't shun people away. You have to try and make people better from the ground up, and this isn't helping. I understand it, and I empathize with you, but it's not helping. Even Battlefield fans can admit that the beta is very, very buggy, very glitchy, has some lag issues, coding issues, a lot of issues. WSimp58 here says, I think everyone needs to remember that this is a beta. I am very sure there will be very little issues when this game launches. I'm pretty sure there will be a patch waiting for us on launch day. I think there's going to be a patch too, but whether the patch fixes all of these issues, man, I wish I could share your optimism, but I really, really don't. Those were just some of the comments that I felt like discussing. There were many, many more I couldn't get to. There were many reasonable, nice, understanding comments, lots of good subscribers that had good conversations and helped each other out, but there was an abnormal amount of Battlefield hipsterism here, and I don't think it's my place to point out a problem without offering a solution. And my solution to this Battlefield 3 hipster problem is for the people that are the fans, that are the hipsters, that are leaving these sort of comments, instead of trying to exclude your fellow gamer, instead of trying to demonize the Call of Duty fanboys as being something that they may or not be, you're stereotyping a group of people, you're projecting issues onto them, this sort of thing. It's the same thing that happened all throughout history. You find a group of people that is unlike you, and because they're unlike you, you make them bad for some particular reason. You should try and build up your fellow man. You should teach him these unwritten rules of gaming, teach him how to play outside, try and get him better at gaming, help, show him that it's not right to talk shit to people, and all these sort of things, and you will get more people that are good gamers playing your beloved Battlefield game. That's my little bit of advice.
Well, for those of you that disagree with me and think that I'm wrong and that I should jump off a bridge, this is a fucking bridge and I'm about to jump off of it. Enjoy the show.
Go for it!
I'm gonna bust my ass on this rail first. This is actually really fucking high.
If your friends really jumped off a bridge, Brad, would you?
Well, it looks like I'm doing it. So we hang on to the GoPro and here we go! Oh,